welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an ISU-122S. It's a Tier 7 Soviet premium tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Tundra, and this one is under the command of heavy999. Now this tank destroyer is a bit of a stopgap between the SU-85, the SU-100 and then the SU-152. The Soviets only built 675 of this particular type of tank destroyer, whereas they built 2,050 of the SU-85 and 2,495 of the SU-100. So it was basically using the IS tank on which it's based to build a sort of like a stopgap which could then be used against the Germans on the assault into Germany. In fact, actually, the prototype came out in April of 1944 and entered service in August of 1944. So they obviously used plenty of the IS tanks that they had already on the production line and just converted them into tank destroyers with a 122mm gun. Okay, we saw a batch at 12 ton. That must have been the tank that actually spotted it heavy as he went down to that corner. As I mentioned, the gun is a 122mm, capable of 390 alpha and penetrating 175mm with standard ammo. With APCR it goes up to 217. He's also got some HE rounds as well, only 5, but they'll do 530 alpha and penetrate 64mm. Now this is another of the games from 2020 that unfortunately got delayed, but it's a rather good one anyway. Well, heavy999 always gives us good games, or most of the time he does. He's looking to the east because there is a Cromwell B up near the railway line, and there's plenty of tanks up on the hill, but he's not getting to shoot at those at the moment. So he's got to worry because there's a KV-2R to his left who's been spotted, but he's actually pulled back. He saw the Cromwell B on our team and decided no, he didn't want any of that. There's the Cromwell B. No, didn't hit him with that one. He's actually now loading an APCR. Did hit him with that one, and a high roll for 427. The Cromwell didn't like it, so he's ducked down back into cover. Now it's got a mediocre top speed, 48 kilometers an hour, which is fairly fast, but remember it's actually based on a heavy tank, and yes, this is a premium tank, not always on sale, so you can't always get one, and it's tier 7 like the SU-122-44. But I think the best thing about it is the fact that it has got a rather good DPM. Yes, it can really devastate the enemy, because the reload time, the book time, is 7.29 seconds, and that's for a 122mm shell. It normally takes about 12 seconds for a heavy tank to load about the same shell, and AMXAC takes a big round, 476, that's a high roll. He knows we're here now, we'll just punch through his front. Yep, he's out the game. Yep. Don't even need to aim for the weak spot, just aim to the tank in general, and oh no, that one didn't pen. But he was firing at a T-150, which is a heavy tank. Let's see how he gets on with this KV-2, who's taking time to aim and misses his shot. But he got a pen, and he did 377, which is a low roll. KV-2's still there, but he's a very narrow target, a pixel target. But the Cromwell's a much better target, and he's out the game. Oh, Arty's trying to get him. It stunned him. Okay, the enemy team's got an M44 and an M12. I'm taking a guess that was the M44. The KV-2 misses another shot. He's still trying. But of course, Heavy's not going to let him get away with it. And that's him out the game. Nicely aimed, good shot. The T-150's come around the corner to try and catch him on his flank. But the T-150 is now a dead duck. Yep, you're gone. And that's his 4th kill. But he did get hit for 290 and he was stunned. Oh, SU-152 383, and he takes that shot in the track, and that's pretty amazing really if you consider, because the armour on this tank destroyer is not that good. In fact, the only good places where you can absorb a shell are actually in the tracks and on the gun mantlet. And he's just killed a senior or superior tank destroyer, the ISU-122. I say superior, but obviously he's got a 152mm gun, and this one has only got a 122, but a better reload. Well, he's having a good game so far because he's got 1/3 of the enemy team, 5 kills, 1 short of getting a top gun, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to make his presence known on the other side of the battlefield. He's crossing the bridge. Yep, the enemy Arty's been spotted. And there are some enemy heavy tanks that he can take down. And he's been spotted by the enemy, unfortunately. Yep, he doesn't really want to get hit by some of those guns. That's a VK7501K. I remember he's got a 128mm gun, if I remember correctly. So, yes, he's doing the best thing here. It's actually to be as invisible as he can so he doesn't get hit, because he doesn't have a lot of armour. It's basically 90mm at the front, 90 at the sides, and 60 at the rear. So it's thin armour, and the mantlet and the tracks are the best armour on the vehicle. But of course the tracks are the tracks. Well, there's only 4 enemies left, 2 of them heavies, and 1 Arty. And the Arty's an M44, and we're guessing that he's down in this corner. Yes, he is! And he's going to be taken out. Yep, good. Didn't even need to go to sniper view. He took that guy out just by putting the reticule on him and blasting away. So he's got his top gun. And potentially he's got high caliber, because he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool. And there's only 2 enemies left, the VK and the KV2R. Now, as I said, the VK7501K is going to be the bigger problem, because he has got a serious gun. And aim it, aim it, aim it. Lovely, into the turret, 339, he's a 1-shot now. And he's turning his gun to match us because he knows he's in trouble. And oh, he pulled back behind the building quick. And unfortunately that one didn't pen. So we got away with that one. And we were spotted, so he knows we're here. And oh, that hurts. Yeah, that was a 128mm round, 497. He's left us on only 83 hit points. Now, can he get the kill on the KV2R? Well, the KV2R is going down the channel to the west of the map, and we're going to have to get a lot closer if we want to hit him. And the best way to do that would be to go through the dip, through the pool, come out the other side, use gun depression. Yes, it does have gun depression, only 6 degrees, but it is gun depression. And that's pretty unusual for a Soviet tank. And here we go, here we go. Come on, come on, come on. KV2R, KV2R. Yes! Wins the game. Another great game. Oh, look at that shot from the 7501. Went right through the front, just missed the mantlet. As usual, another great game by heavy999. This one was an ace tanker in the ISU-122S. He's had ace tankers in this tank destroyer before, and I'm sure he will again as well. He got a shell proof in that game for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and he also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. He ended on 7, 1 short of getting a Radley's, but he didn't get the kill on that VK7501. If he had, if that shot had connected and he'd actually killed him, I think he would have been looking at a Radley Waters for sure. And his win rate from that battle was 15,075. Very high super unicum. Very definitely worth it as well. Let's have a look at the team score and see how he managed to do. 4,040 hit points. The next highest scorer had less than half of that, and that was the T29 on the enemy team. 1,812 went to him, and 1,802 went to the VK7501K. That's why he was so deadly during that game. And when it came to kills, yep, he managed to get 7. The next highest scorer only had 2, 1/3 of the amount that he managed to gather in that game. And it was the M44 on our own team, the Skoda T25 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, Yeah, you've got it. He's got the column again. So all three columns. 1,492. He's the only player over 1,000. The next highest scorer was the KV2 on his own team with 698. And then the M44 on his own team was 694. The LTTB managed to pick up a Confederate medal during that game as well. He fired 17 rounds in that game, got 15 direct hits and 13 penetrations. Damage of 4,040 hit points. He received 4 hits from the enemy, 2 penetrations, 2 non-penetrations, and 2 hits by way of splash damage. Yep, we saw the damage that was actually done. That big VK7501K put 1 round right through the mantlet. Yeah, that was a pretty hefty shot, that one. 2 penetrations, yeah, 2 non-pens, and 2 hits by way of splash damage. I missed those ones out. And he blocked 1,000 hit points of damage entirely. Now, he didn't qualify for a steel wall simply by virtue of the fact that he didn't receive enough shots from the enemy. Needed 11, but he did survive. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 7, did 224 hit points of damage assistance. He also got 4 defense points by resetting the cap on that T150 when he came in. Bit of a naughty thing for him to do that T150. He was low on hit points already, but yeah, you don't really want to come in front of a 122mm gun, which can splat you out of the game just one shot. 101,399 credits is a really good credit earner, this tank. And after repair and ammunition respawn, you can see he actually ended up with a profit of 42,289 credits. Yes, he did fire some premium rounds in this game, I will give you that. 2 bonds for the missions, and 2,238 XP times 3 for the first victory of the day. 448 because this is a premium vehicle, and 7,162 experience points altogether. The ISU-122S is a very good trainer. I would give Wargaming that. If you want to train up crews for the Russian tank destroyer line, this is one of the ones to use. The other one, of course, is the SU-122-44, which is both are assault tank destroyers, but of course the SU-122-44 is more of it's based on that sloped armor, whereas this thing works on its fire rate. So obviously you're effectively out DPMing the enemy with this thing. The only problem, of course, as I said, is its armor is fairly weak, so you have to watch out for that. It's a bit slow on turning, sluggish on the turn, whereas the SU-122-44 is a lot faster to turn. And it does have a problem with its pen, as you saw during that game, but other than that, it's actually a very good tank destroyer because it can train crews very quickly. So if you need a good crew for one of your Soviet tank destroyers, I'd put them through this one if you've got one. If you haven't got one, or if you've got the SU-122-44, I suppose you'd have to use that instead. But I think this is the better of the two because, of course, it does the DPM. That's the thing about this one. It pumps those rounds out really quickly, and as you saw, that French AMX, he had no chance. The AMX AC-46, he's got good armor. He turned his front to the SU-122S and just got blown out of existence with just 2 shots. So yeah, it's a much better tank destroyer, and it obviously displays that. I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Alright, this one's gonna go in. It's my last one, I swear. Alright, can I open it?
And thank you for watching.